Okay. Hi, this is Nancy Vandell, chairperson for the NESCO and NCAC Bylaws Subcommittee meeting of May 30th. And I call the meeting to order at 9:01 a.m. I have no conflicts. Susan and Tom, can you introduce yourselves?
Tom Sipe, no conflicts.
Susan Schomburg, no conflicts.
Thank you. And Wyatt Angelo let me know that he wouldn't be able to make it today, but we'll be there for our meeting tomorrow. And Michael Beachley, I think, is not going to make it either. He wasn't completely clear, but he intends to be there for uh, the policy, the parliamentary procedure section of tomorrow's meeting.
And I
So,
will not be present tomorrow.
right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it will be Tom, Wyatt, and me tomorrow. And let me just go in and share the agenda. So I think it can be really brief today, hopefully, depending. I did add some documents to the meeting folder last night that I'm guessing you guys haven't had a chance to see. But I'll give a quick report. Let's defer the minutes until the next meeting. And then Mark, let me know he's not going to be able to make it. I haven't heard from Sarah, but I'm guessing she won't either. So we'll really be talking very briefly about any comments received from members from the county. And then go into the special meeting planning, and that's it. So at this point on the calendar, we have our special big meeting tomorrow to adopt the bylaws amendments in the PP&R document. And then June 6th and June 20th, we have remaining bylaws subcommittee meetings, and I'd like to talk about whether we need to have both of those. And then Saturday, June 14th, is our regular membership meeting, which will include subcommittee elections and, with any luck, election of a secretary. So any comments on today's agenda?
Nope.
Okay. So I do want to remind everybody to please send in a brief application for next year. I don't think it needs to be as lengthy as in previous years. We could adopt Wyatt's, which was, I was on it this year and I want to be on it next year. Basically, it was a quick one. So
I'll see if I can't make that a bit more brief.
yeah, okay. So, or not, maybe we
When
should
do
say a
they
little bit
need to,
more.
when do they need to be in by, Nancy, and to whom?
Have we put that in the policies procedures yet? No.
No, I don't think
But I think you can just send it. I think maybe we did say that they should be sent to info@NCAC, the info email address,
Okay.
NCAC officially. And then, you can actually self-nominate at the meeting itself, but I would say try to get it in 2 weeks in advance if possible, which would be like today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Because they'll put that in notice out to the membership. Probably, well, they might even do it 2 weeks in advance.
Okay.
So maybe right after this meeting, we go in and we send in or after tomorrow's meeting or something. We think maybe depending on how tomorrow's meeting goes, we think we
Yeah.
want to.
well, you can always resign.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point, as I mentioned to Gary yesterday, or I mean, Wednesday. Um, so, um, so we have these two last meetings. One is before we get reelected, assuming we will, and one is after breaking for the summer. So it might be good to have a meeting on June 6th. Go ahead and keep that just to discuss any output of yesterday's meeting. But I think it can be short. And then, not yesterday's meeting, tomorrow's meeting. And then maybe we can decide on June 6th whether we need the one on June 20th. But I think it would be good because we'll have been hopefully reelected and we can talk about the summer more officially than we can do right now. So I guess for now, I'm thinking really short meetings on June 6th and June 20th. Any thoughts on that?
That sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. And that's basically all I have. I will mention that I have been attending the last few community plan subcommittee meetings, and there have been interesting discussions, and Tom, of course, is a big part of that subcommittee, but I think we had gotten some agreement that they were going to kind of take off for the summer too, but then it sounds like maybe there was a schedule published that was brought up in the executive board meeting that I didn't see. So is it still, do you know how active it's going to be during the summer, Tom?
There is contention.
Okay. All right.
And
Enough
I
said.
went to the NCA meeting at the fire hall, and it seemed like there was going to be a feedback session in June, and I failed to mark it down. I did at the time, but it seemed like something was going to take place.
On June 21st, there's going to be some type of feedback session, and I think at their last meeting that they had, they were talking about having like maybe 3 topics to go over, but not a full-blown feedback session. But everything's in flux. So you
Yeah,
want to update
those
that?
topics have not been identified, by the way.
Okay.
But we
And
might have 3 things to talk about, so we're going to schedule something.
Oh,
Okay.
so June 21 sounds like it will take place then,
mhm.
but topics to be determined then?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to stay on top of it because I know
It's difficult for
wanna
me to
show
stay on
up.
top of it. I was surprised to find out just a couple of days before we had the NCA meeting that we were going to do a survey.
I was surprised by that myself when I sat down and they were everywhere.
I'd say we do not have the rigor that we have in this subcommittee.
So anyway, we'll see what they end up doing, and Tom is quite patient through it all. So anyway, Tom's been very busy with that. So I'm just gonna move on to well, we had our executive board meeting, and we went through some of the process for tomorrow's meeting a little bit, but I also went briefed the executive board on a few topics that we had changed, or we had added things to the PP&R or the bylaws amendments since we had done their feedback session, and they seemed fine with all of those. So I'd also gone over most of them individually with most of the people, but not everybody had heard. So they sounded good. Otherwise, they did we did appoint Linda Wintermuth to the outreach task force. So
Super. I ran into her in the village and encouraged her to get her interest into NCAC before the executive board meeting.
she did. So we went ahead and she is appointed now.
Great.
Okay, so any updates on the outreach task force that you'd like to give at this point?
The only thing that I've heard, and it's kind of bigger than outreach task force, is that as of yesterday, and you guys may know this, probably do, the TLT ballot is, the noes are ahead by 11 votes. And for the county, there were over 8,000 people who voted, and it's been really tight. And
wow.
Anytime apparently there's 17, a difference of 17 or less, they'll have to do an automatic recount and certification. But the unofficial information on the Tillamook County website is that the noes are ahead. It will fail as of yesterday by 11 votes.
And it's a simple majority vote, or do they require
I think it's just majority.
Okay.
Yeah, simple majority.
And the deadline's already hit for getting in any absentee ballots from overseas or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Not like California that can go for 4 weeks after.
Yeah, they were counting them up until, I'm not Nancy, to your point, I'm not sure what the last day they were counting them, but I caution by saying unofficial.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you for that update. I guess I hadn't realized it was actually going to be over by now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So,
I got something for the outreach. Since we have notice.
Oh, oh, yes.
that is so lovely. Tom, you showed that in a community plan meeting and I didn't grasp it. That is very cool. So how many of these did you build?
I have built one, ready to build more if people want them.
Wow.
Isn't it?
That's,
It's beautiful.
yes.
Well, it's rustic, but
But
so is the environment.
it
It
fits
does.
in with the environment, and it won't be destroyed by the elements because
Does
the
that
sign
have,
is laminated
ah,
and then the
And
box protects it.
and the box is made of pressure treated wood.
very nice, Tom. Very
And
nice.
I wonder if we've had more people inquire with sending information to the NCAC as a result of it, I hope.
That would
Hope
be
so.
nice. It'd be, yeah.
Well, if you need any more, I need about a week in advance or so. They don't have pressure treated wood like that in Lincoln City, so I need to make a trip to Salem, but
Mhm.
fairly easy to do.
It's slowly rolling out with the outreach. So
Uh,
now we have Lynn with the Hawk Creek Hills, and so I will ask her if she knows of a place near their mailboxes, what their mailbox situation is, or up on the hill. There's someplace people convene informally that would take notice.
That might be nice for each of them. I mean, if you think about how many neighborhoods there are, what is it, 10?
Mm-hmm.
That Tom could plan on that eventually, at least get
Mm-hmm.
enough wood for it for 9 more, Tom. If you need, do you need any? I think the NCAC has money for supplies if you need anything.
well, if I got money from the NCAC for supplies, it would probably be because I donated. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a moot point.
You
Okay,
can apply
sounds
for a
good.
grant, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could. Yeah, I could
right,
do that.
right.
What's our
That
grant
would be
application?
writing something. I don't do that.
So, thank you, Tom. That is wonderful. I'm going to move us on because I would like to be out of here by 10 if I could. I have a dentist
Perfect.
appointment that I'm going to have to get to, but
And 9:30 would be okay.
Yep.
okay. So, so basically on the item about PPNR and bylaws amendments, discussion of any comments received, I have received none. So other than positive. So Sarah's been very positive. I haven't received anything from her after we sent the final package, but Tom and I actually met with her uh, right before we sent the final package, and she was very positive about it.
Super.
And the board's positive. Nobody else has said anything. So moving on to the special membership meeting planning, we have 10 people registered at the moment, including Tom, Wyatt, me, and Mark. So the board all said that they would be there, and then there are 6 other people. And only a couple have attended our previous feedback sessions. So anyway, we'll see if any more sign up, and of course people can just come in at the last minute too. But at least 10 is close to 15, and so hopefully we will, and the rest of the board said they'd be there, so I think we're going to have enough. The so let me go to the agenda. Did you guys have a chance to look at? Well, I don't think we need so I'm going to go to the process document because get rid of this. And so Mark and I met yesterday to talk about the process, and it made me realize that I needed to put a little more thought into the process than I had put. But ultimately, as I read and read and read Robert's rules, I think what we had originally planned is going to be fine. We so so basically, Mark, we have this in the meeting folder for tomorrow. Believe I think I stuck it in, but if you guys have any comments on it, let me know. I have been liberally using Tom's lovely logo, letterhead.
It's beautiful. I think we should use it for the NCAC homepage.
Yes, we should. Anyway, so basically what we're going to do is consider the bylaws amendments first. And according to Robert's rules, once there's a motion approved to change the bylaws in any way, one motion or for all of them or single ones, they take effect immediately. Unless there's something in there saying that they're being delayed for some reason to actually take effect. Like last year, we had the officer elections moved from June to April and it was May. So that was just deferred until this year, but they are done. They are not, you can't just have a motion to reconsider with those. You can have a motion to later to make another change, but bylaws amendments are pretty interesting. And it's a 2/3 majority requirement for the bylaws. So, so I'm getting my AirPods muted. So basically, Mark is in charge of the meeting and he's going to go through this preamble here and then call on me to present the report of the subcommittee. And I will be making a motion to adopt the bylaws amendments as a whole. They, on the committee, I'm going to email you guys the motions, but then we will go through and present the actual individual amendments. I did not make a presentation of that. I've thought about it. It wouldn't be that hard to do, but I think the document itself should be sufficient to go through each individual amendment. And we'll go to the document here in a moment. And you can tell me if I'm wrong and I need to do a presentation. But basically, after each of the amendments, the NCAC chair will ask if there's any discussion or amendments to the proposed amendment. And then we will talk about that. I'm guessing there won't, but who knows when there are people coming who have never attended. But I don't think there's really anything controversial to any of these, but we'll find out. Members can offer amendments to any of the wording, and we tell them how to do that and tell them, what the chair restates, etc. Once all the proposed amendments have been considered individually, then the chair will conduct the vote of the main motion to adopt the bylaws amendments, either as presented or amendment as amended. So I'm planning to do a whole bunch of Zoom poll questions. So one will be similar to the one we did for the bylaws last year, except to adopt the bylaws amendments as presented or as amended, with the caveat that, allowing editorial changes like we did last time. And then I'm going to have amendments written down, polls for each individual bylaw change in case we get people who want to separate things out. So I'm not anticipating we'll need them, but I'm going to put them down at the bottom just in case, so we're prepared.
Okay.
And then we go into the policies, procedures, and references consideration, and I'll be making a similar amendment to adopt the new policies, procedures, and references document as presented, and then we will go through the presentation. I have it was late last night when I put up the updated presentation. So please take a look at that after the meeting and let me know if you have any updates to that. But I tried to capture everything that we had changed from the previous one, and we didn't have that much time because we had our feedback session. Tom had prepared the presentation for the feedback session on the 17th, and then we had that packet out on the 21st. So there wasn't that much time, but I took all the red line stuff that was in the 17th presentation, and then I looked for any others, and I know there are some. So I put a caveat on the presentation where we talk about the presentation saying, refer to the document itself. There could be some differences or updates in the document itself. But I think I got it all. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I had a red line version of the PNP after the version we had for the meeting on the 17th. I know I went in and did some updates,
Mhm.
but I didn't find a red line version then. So I may have fouled up on that. So Tom was nice enough to give me authority to take the documents and massage them because he's been extremely busy. But hopefully I didn't screw up on that. Anyway, I think everything's good though for it. But we basically go through the same process as we do for the bylaws amendments to go through the presentation.
Oh, I was just, uh, I'm sorry, I went down a rat hole on the, rabbit hole, I should say. On the, as presented, we're not actually presenting the entire thing, probably, on the PPNR.
We're presenting as presented in the document. So I'll make sure to
Okay,
clarify that.
yeah, yeah.
Good point. I'll clarify that in the motion that it's as the document is presented, not the presentation. So,
Yeah.
and that's actually what I was going to get to is that in terms of the presentation itself, I think we need to go through pretty quickly. We'll have just gone through the bylaws amendments. I'm going to suggest to Mark that he actually ask how much interest there is, or I will, how much do people want to go into? Because if people want to go into a fair amount of detail, then we'll have to do it. I'm just guessing they won't, but as we go through, I pretty much kept the slides in the same order you had, Tom. I had thought about taking some of the detail and putting them at the end just in case, but I just left them in the order that they were in. And I think people get the gist of it. So anyway, at the end, we have a motion the motion gets voted on, and if there were any amendments, it gets changed to as amended. And then I'm going to do a bunch of polling questions, and then there's some rules here for just procedures for discussion on just for the chair to go through. So any questions on the process part of it, and then we'll go to the. Okay,
No.
well, please review it. Let me know if you have any other suggestions because the meeting's not till 1:30. So in terms of the presentation itself, I didn't do anything redlined with this because it's like, why? We had the redlined version before, but I did add here, these slides are based on the content of proposed policies, NCC policies, procedures, and references document dated 5/20/2025, which is just an update. And then I added the PPNR document may have updated wording. That's our caveat. But otherwise, I did update some of these numbers here. Tom, I moved to put it in order. I moved outreach task force that had been below use of name or title up to be in order of number. And I was thinking we might want to do that on the document itself, but since we've put the document out for membership review, it's just kind of an editorial change, but one thing we might want to change
Okay.
on the final version. It's not anything big. But there were actually quite a few updates from this. So anyway, I think otherwise I changed formatting a little bit or broke out slides a little bit. Moved, monitoring task force up. But anyway, just take a look, see if you have any issues with it. I don't think so.
So the technique I used for the feedback session was to go ahead and hide the details. And then
Uh-huh.
if you go into presentation view, you can go directly to the one that they're asking for details on, double click on that, and then it will show just that section, just those that have been hidden. And then
Okay.
once it gets to another one, which was not previously hidden, then it jumps back to the normal flow. So it worked pretty
Okay.
well.
Let me share the actual PowerPoint, then you can help me with this. So
Okay.
because I
So
may
you
have
can go,
destroyed that. Do you
oh,
think it would have kept it if there were few times when I created new slides because I just felt like it was too jumbled, and so I would add a slide. But so
okay.
hopefully that would keep it. And then I had to, of course, move all the slides from monitoring task force from procedure to policy. So there are some updates that way.
So I
So
would
what do I
do
do?
a right click on the left-hand portion, the one of the slides.
Right click. Okay, I'll
Oh,
try. I
over.
have an Apple. So I'll try. I'll
Well,
try
okay. I'm sorry that you are so.
I know. So oh, I'm not in slideshow yet. So let me do slideshow.
Well, slideshow will let us know whether or not what's there. You go into slideshow. Yeah, there's a reason that I'm not into the Apple world, and it's only because of the tools. Okay,
Okay.
well, see, the advantage I have is I have multiple screens,
Yeah. Well,
and that
you
might
can
be the
do
difference.
this. So
If you want me to drive it
that's what I'm
tomorrow,
thinking.
oh,
Yes.
okay, I can drive it tomorrow.
So let me make sure I let me make sure let me put it was so late last night. I put the PDF up, but I don't think I put the PowerPoint up. So I'll put the PowerPoint up on the Google Drive and then you can play with it. So I'll do that as soon as we get off. Actually, I'll
Okay,
get it off when I get back from the dentist.
yeah.
Or actually, maybe I should just do it now. Get out of this.
While you're doing that, I'll write an email saying I'm for it again.
You're doing an email saying what?
That I'm up for it again.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. I'll do it later. All right. So, right after. So let me go into the document for the. I'm going to get rid of the presentation here. I'm going to go into the special meeting. So the agenda on that is fairly brief, and we did put in the updated wording for the notice on voting in here.
Oh, that's great.
And the we'll have introductions. This is all Mark. Review the agenda and go through the process, and then consideration of the adoption of the bylaws amendment. So, and then we go on to the NCAC procedures and PPNR, and we have the majorities required there, and then we adjourn. So it's no other topics. And I guess I will be parliamentarian as well tomorrow, in case there are any things. And Mark and I talked some about parliamentary procedure. And I don't know if anyone will be attending the training on that tomorrow, but we have all of the whole kit is in here that was sent also to Sarah with a letter. Interestingly, when I took the PDF documents that had active links from the table of contents and other things and put it into an overall PDF to send to her, the active links for table of contents went away. They are all still here. So for the proposed bylaws amendments, it's pretty simple. And they're numbered so that if there are separate amendments that need to be done, we could say we're going to consider Amendment 5 separately. So in any of these, and I had actually made them active, but for some reason they're not looking active. Oh, this is because they're the amended bylaws. Why is this the amended bylaws? Oh, red line version. Never mind. Where are the amendments? I need to. I clicked on the wrong thing.
No, it looks like the red line version is, check the other one, because that's one of my favorite tricks, is to say that the red line version is a smooth one, the smooth one's a red line.
Mm.
Oh, I think I was using the, oh, it's flipping through the things on the screen. That's weird. Oh, because of the PDF, I can't just use it
You
like
have
a
to
Word
open it up with the
document.
PDF. You have to open it up with the PDF reader.
Yeah, yeah. So you're going to be doing all this tomorrow, right? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why things aren't live on here either then. But at least the document is labeled correctly. So I have, Tom suggested making sure that everything is, you're not having page breaks in the middle of everything. And so
Mhm.
that was a really nice suggestion, Tom. And I went through and did that on this document. I also did it on the bylaws. When I did the updated bylaws, I also made sure the clean copy has page breaks in the right places, which we should have probably done last year. I didn't think of. Anyway, so I don't really think we need a presentation for this. But what do you all think?
I think it reads nicely the way you have it.
And then we'd have the bylaws ready to go if they wanted to go in and look at the red line version. Two different versions of the red line version, one with comments, one without, but we would get the one without comments. So I think just in the interest of time, I will just go through this. When we get to the policies and procedures, I think we should divide it among the three of us. Kind of like we've done in the past. Does that sound okay?
You can go any way you want. You're our leader.
Well, no, we're a team. It's just with this one, I think it's we can do it pretty quickly, hopefully. So I think that's it. Any questions about this document? I know you've had a chance to see this before. There's really nothing new here. So, so I think
You could just send me a
that's all.
list of which documents in what order you want them. I'll have them queued up.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I will do that. Because basically it'll be the bylaws amendments. And then I think a red line version, we should show that probably before the final vote. Unless people just don't care. And then they can always go in and look themselves also in the meeting folder, but we can show them the clean version. So let me just share the clean version because I did make some edits to that since I had control. I mean, it's a dangerous thing, Tom.
I completed the first pass of the my monthly newsletter last night, so I had no time to do this.
I know, I know. Between that and the community plan, I don't know
Oh, yeah,
how
that
you've
too.
done it. So let me get back to the membership meeting and the clean version of the bylaws. So I added Tom's letterhead.
Mhm.
It turned out some of our fonts weren't all trebuchet, so I changed that and got them all trebuchet. Very important things like that. Made sure that things were not going over pages where I could. Page number, oh, that's the first page. But otherwise, just had, you know, I think it's looking pretty good. You couldn't just have everything on separate pages. At least not having sections divided. So I think it's looking pretty cool. And then at the end, after they're approved, I'm being optimistic, we'll change the footers and the top and have it set. So it is a different look than the original, and I'm trying to remember. I think we didn't have it as trebuchet before because I had edited it at the end last time, and I think I had it in Calibri. So
Yeah.
anyway, there were
Okay.
some updates there. Anyway, any comments?
I think it looks wonderful.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good comments. We did a nice job. So this is something we'll be going through in the Michael provided last year. That's the cheat sheet for Robert's rules, and whoops, darn it, I keep forgetting. So it's got how you handle motions and that kind of thing. But I've spent quite a bit of time yesterday rereading Robert's rules on bylaws adoptions, and I think I will have those handy. I feel confident that we're doing this legally and correctly. So the other part of the caveat on the motion will be subject to Tillamook County approval. So that's about it. Any discussion on tomorrow's meeting?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So I think that's all I have. Any comments in general? I'm gonna stop sharing and okay. I'm anticipating something smooth, and hopefully my biggest concern has been quorum, but I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like we have enough. If these people actually show up, I think we'll have enough.
So I registered for this meeting quite a while ago, but I never got an email that said that gave me the link
Mm.
Oh, really?
and no confirmation. So was that just
Really?
me?
I
Uh,
registered just this morning before I dialed in. I
Did you
would
get
have,
an email?
let me check. I'm gonna go to my email right now.
So since
I'll
I am the
minimize.
host, I
Let's see if
don't
anything
register
came
for it.
in.
But I did register for tomorrow's meeting and I got a confirmation.
Hmm.
Did you
Maybe
get a
I checked my spam and I didn't see it there, but
I
did you
did
get
get something right when I did get something from Zoom saying that a meeting confirmation at 8:58, but that would have been as I was typing my name in. That was it. That's all I got.
hmm.
And it had the link, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, let me double check. I'm
Well,
assuming
I
it
mean,
had the
it doesn't
link,
have
but
the link. It has what I do is I on the confirmation email, it has the ability to add it to your calendar, and that's what I do. That's how I save the link.
Okay. But you never got that.
I never got that.
You're showing as having registered. Actually, let me look and see if you're showing as having registered for this meeting. Hang on.
I often wonder what happens because sometimes I will register ahead of time, and then because I have so many emails and I'm not, if I'm on the road, I don't have access to my desktop, I'll just re-register and dial in. Does it show me registered twice when I do that?
Yeah.
It does. Okay. I always
I
wondered
should be
about that.
registered twice because I registered before and then I registered again this morning.
You are only registered once, and it shows you as registering yesterday at 12:15 p.m.
Interesting.
So maybe it doesn't show twice. I guess that it does. It is smart enough to know that apparently. So for tomorrow's meeting, oh, and somebody else was registered for today's meeting.
Oh,
Karen Buza. So let me go into tomorrow's meeting, see if we have any updates.
we'll be an hour from landing in Sydney when the meeting starts tomorrow. So if we have we shouldn't have tailwinds. We normally have headwinds. But if the jet stream turns around, I will try to dial in if we land early.
Okay.
But we're not expected to. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and you can always come in partway.
yeah,
If you
I would love
where
to. Yeah.
where are you flying in from?
I'm flying from tonight from LA to Sydney.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So we still have the same 10 for tomorrow, and Tom, you're registered. It showed you registering yesterday at 12:15.
Hmm.
I wonder, since you registered for 2 at the same time, if it sent you one email for both, or did you get one for tomorrow's meeting?
I did not get one for tomorrow's meeting either.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Karen
Let
joined us.
me.
We have someone connecting to audio, it looks like.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to send I'm resending a confirmation email for you for tomorrow, Clark, Tom,
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
and I'm going to stop sharing.
I
I'm
see
not. I
Karen
wasn't
Busa just
sharing.
dialed in.
Great. Welcome, Karen. We're actually at the end of the meeting in public comment, so your timing is great. Do you have anything you would like to talk about before we have our membership meeting tomorrow? We'll put you on the spot.
Oh, but
You're-
she's
you're mu-
muted.
I know you're muted and
Oh.
your video's off, so you can go in the chat, or you're welcome to come in and talk, Karen, or not, as you wish. Okay. But if you do have any questions or anything, we're happy to answer them. And we can give you time to unmute if you'd like. But otherwise, I think we're done for today. But Karen, I'm going to wait a couple more seconds in case you have any questions. If not, you're welcome to email us at the whatever my NCAC email is. It's on the agenda, and we'd be happy to talk with you separately. Okay, well, hearing none, I adjourn the meeting at 9:43 a.m. and safe travels, Susan, and Tom. We'll see you tomorrow, and Karen, we hope to see you tomorrow as well. Take
Okay,
care.
and you're gonna
I'm
send me
going to
that list.
I'm going to send you the list, and I'm going to upload the PowerPoint to the Google Drive.
And I
Wonderful.
just submitted my request to be continued.
Thank you. Thank you. I will do that too. Take care.
All right.
And
Thank you.
thank you
Bye.
all for everything. This has been such a terrific effort, and fingers crossed for tomorrow. I'm sure it'll go well. Bye-bye.
All right.